Proudly broadcasting from the Richard Philip Cavallaro studio.
WRHU.
Hempstead.
You've discovered.
A cornerstone of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication.
WRHU.
Hello, screeners. We're back again.
You're listening to The Screening Room on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Join us as we talk about all things pop culture,
Hollywood news,
And entertainment.
We're also feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
screeners buckle up.
and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Screening Room on WRHU. I'm your host, Michael Albrecht, joined by my co-host, Brandon Moy. Also in studio is Abby Gibson, Tommy Saxa, and... I already said that. That's my bad. Sorry. We also have a very special guest, former producer of the Screening Room, Hannah Greenberg.
That's right. And on today's show, we are discussing the dual premiere of Wicked and Gladiator, the controversial AI developments in media, and all the latest entertainment news.
For more on our show, follow us on Screening Room at WRHU.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're all doing great. It's already Thanksgiving week. Isn't that crazy, guys? I can't believe it's already here.
This month was the busiest month ever,
That's true.
and it went by so quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't had a time to just sit down and rest.
I know. I feel like Thanksgiving has been like the mark on my calendar. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, everything's coming to this point, and now it's like,
Thank
it's
God.
that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But why don't we get started by catching up a little bit with Hannah here, who is
goodness.
joining us once again after 7 months of being out in the real world. So, Hannah, what have you been up to?
So I'm basically still applying for jobs, for PR jobs. I did get a gig a couple months ago, so I was up here for like a few nights at the VMAs, so that was pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And now I'm visiting for the night because I'm trying to see people, and obviously I stopped by here. I didn't tell anyone besides Michael I was stopping by here, so yeah. I am getting a master's in teaching starting this spring at Montclair University, so that's exciting.
Wow,
I'm becoming
that
a
is so
Spanish
fun.
teacher.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I came into the studio today, and I'm surprised by Hannah, who pops up behind the desk here. So it was quite a surprise.
Yeah, I love surprises. I love being in on stuff like that. This has been in the works for a couple days.
Yeah.
So
I randomly texted him a couple days ago.
so this was like the thing I was most excited for the last couple of days.
Oh.
So
Wow. I'm
Well, we're
Very
glad
fun.
to have you here again. You're always welcome. The Screening Room family never ends, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we start the show by catching up on what we've been watching this week? Has anyone seen some interesting stuff that they want to share with the world? No one. Awesome.
wow, so cool.
All right.
It's busy
fine.
times. It's busy times.
Tommy,
But Tommy,
Yeah, I
Tommy,
guess
I
I'll
know
start.
you always watch something good and new.
Oh God, yeah. I have nothing else to do. All right. So starting off hot. You guys seen Red One yet?
No.
You gotta get on that.
How do you feel? I've seen. I was just talking to head writer of Thursday Night Live, Josh Willey, about this, and we were looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score, and like the audience score is really high, but the reviews by critics are low.
Well, it's weird because like you know that term crowd pleasing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't pleased. I don't think anybody in there was pleased. It was a
You didn't like it?
$250 million like tax evasion scandal. Like it didn't feel like a real movie. I
That's
was
funny.
baffled at its choices. Like I remember The Rock had a quote when he was watching Oppenheimer. Funny enough, where he said, "Red One on IMAX, it's game over," and it's made I think $30 million of its $250 million budget.
Yeah,
so
the
I just
budget was insane for this,
it
I
was
heard.
higher than any blockbuster of the year, I think.
Wow.
And I thank God it's making none of it back. I was praying on its downfall.
That's crazy.
That's funny. I was really hoping for the opposite. Actually, I was hoping it would be good because the trailers look really good. I think it's gonna be like a cult classic, but
I thought you were going to say cult for a second. I was like, what?
it's gonna be the start of the Santa
Michael,
cult.
It's funny because you're right. All the good scenes are in the trailer, and then the whole thing is filler. It's baffling.
That sucks. I mean, I guess that's all movies though.
Yeah,
Trailers are really deceiving. My number one thought about that, I was just referencing this the other day, that the trailer for Force Awakens has Luke speaking, and he doesn't have a single line in that movie.
Yeah. The trailer's really
Trailers
that's how
are
they
very
get you.
deceiving.
Also,
yeah.
As long as you come to the movie, they don't care. Like
trailers now have like they don't have faith that people are gonna see it if they don't, so they put I think every scene in the movie in a trailer.
Yeah.
And like just spoil the whole thing. I remember they're showing the Sonic 3 trailer, and that's like this is the whole movie now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
The Rock's payday on that movie is insane.
Yeah,
I
no,
heard
I
that's
know.
most of the budget was going to
I think
The
it's
Rock.
1/5 of the budget.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
That's really
dystopian.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
so it's not a holiday classic, you don't think?
It's a holiday classic in the way that the Santa Claus 3 is.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
I'm so happy you feel the same way about the Santa Claus 3 that I do.
I've never seen it.
You don't have to. I love the first two Santa Clauses. I think the second
Like
one's
you should.
I think the second is an underrated film.
Mhm.
I hate the third one. There was a reason I hated the third one as a kid, and I forgot why. I think it just scared me when I was like a
Oh
little
yeah,
kid.
Jack Frost is a really off character design.
I don't like Martin, not Martin Sheen.
Martin Short.
Martin
No,
Short.
I love
thank
Martin
you.
Short.
I love Martin Short. I don't like him in that role.
He was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
he's
remember
freaky,
being
yeah.
scared as a kid, yeah.
Now I just, as a snobby film student, I just don't like that film.
I still watch it every year though. It won't stop me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Freeform's 25 Days of Christmas just
Starting
they hook you in
soon.
with all
Mhm.
those. You
Gotta
know?
get
What
on
I'm
that.
doing
Yeah.
when we're not here. So never watching it.
That's true. That's true. Well, I watched Adaptation, the movie this week.
Yeah?
Tommy was with
Yeah,
me
I
in
can
that
relate.
class.
What class
And
is that?
It's a comedy and satire.
I love that class.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a really
great
fun class.
and that is a great film.
It is. People have told me about it for so long, and I never got around to it. And now I finally watched it. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting.
good.
It's not what I thought at all. What it was gonna
No.
be, and the end especially takes quite a turn.
Yeah.
That is a career-making Nicolas Cage performance, and there are a lot of
100%.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two good performances by Nicolas Cage in that movie.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Yes, too good.
He has a dual role. But yeah, so that was a fun little watch this week.
Yeah.
I agree. That has one of my favorite quotes of all time from a movie.
Oh yeah. What's up?
You are what you love, not who loves you,
Mm.
which is also in one of my favorite Fall Out Boy songs.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
So
I love Fall Out
It all
Boy.
connects. My favorite band.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like that is the best line of the movie, but it was also intentionally supposed to be like, not serious.
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, it's pretty good, but
No,
I don't know if
that's
I
a
should take
fun-
it seriously or not.
That's a good movie. Very like kind of satirical
Yeah.
on the industry. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I've been watching Gilmore Girls. I was about to say Friends, and then I was like, I'm banned from saying Friends on here. I'm like obsessed. I can't stop watching it. So I know it's like 20 years ago that it started. The show was on, but it's a fall vibe. So
It is.
It
It is.
yeah,
And this is your first time watching it, you were saying, right?
yeah, and it's like a classic. So
It is a classic.
yeah,
I hear so many people telling me to watch this, and they're like, "You have to watch it during the fall."
I think you would
months,"
like
and
it.
yeah.
Maybe I will.
It
I think-
starts out slow. Like the first few episodes are kind of slow, but then it gets better.
It's a good aesthetic. It's
Yeah.
one of me and Catherine's, my girlfriend's shows that
Yeah,
we watch.
Oh, wow.
It's a good like background show, but it's also just you get into the plot.
Yeah.
Kind of rom-com-y, kind of drama-y. It's like it's a good dramedy.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a good show. You'd like it. Very
Interesting.
aesthetic.
yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
I saw the set, so it was pretty cool. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Where was that?
Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Warner Brothers has everything.
Yeah.
They got every
That's
set possible.
crazy.
That's funny.
Friends.
Anybody-
Abby, have you been watching anything this week? That's
In
Caught
the
up in
sense
stuff?
that I'm on my third binge of New Girl
okay.
again. Right.
Is it just as good as the first time?
So good. I still giggle at every
I still need to
joke.
finish it.
Me too. I need to
Wait,
finish
what season
it.
are you on?
3? I don't know.
Okay, you
I started watching it like senior year of high school. And I got
That's a long time ago.
I understand that. And
It's only
then,
been what, like 4 or
4
5
years.
4
years.
years ago.
It's okay.
And then I stopped for some reason. And then it's just hard to watch things now. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fair. That's
But
fair.
yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a good comedy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it is Thanksgiving week. Is anyone watching like any Thanksgiving-y themed things. I'm excited
The
for
U-log.
everyone loves the good Yule-log.
We're not talking about
That's
Christmas
iconic.
until after Thanksgiving. that is my official
Hey,
stance.
Christmas starts now, buddy. All right.
Santa needs to come through on the parade.
I'll get you kicked out of my family if you said that.
Oh, really?
Not until the day Thanksgiving ends, and not a day earlier.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Well, to keep on Thanksgiving though, I'm excited for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. That's a classic
Always a
in
classic.
my family every year. And I just heard it was the 51st anniversary yesterday, I believe, of
Wow.
Of the film. So
Yeah.
I was in that musical, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played
Goodman, Charlie Brown?
Yeah, I played Linus.
I was Linus in that.
That's
We
crazy.
didn't have enough
funny.
guys.
I was Charlie Brown.
As you
Yeah.
should.
Very true. That's a good show.
Yeah.
But
First
yeah.
and only leading role.
But it's always an iconic watch for the Thanksgiving. time.
100%.
And also, not to bring it up, but Friends is
Yes.
pretty well known for their Thanksgiving
Yes.
episodes.
I was just right before I came here. I was on a set,
Mhm.
and I was talking to my friend Norelli about that because she started watching the Friends Thanksgiving episodes, and
Yeah.
I was like, they're all on Max. Max
Yep.
listed them in like their own little section.
Yeah.
Friends
Oh, I
Thanksgiving
love when they
episodes.
do that.
Oh, yeah.
I counted them. They did one every single season.
There's 10 of
that was
them,
their
yeah.
staple.
That is
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And now they even have like HelloFresh has a deal with Friends where they every single day leading up to Thanksgiving they give out 250 different boxes of Rachel's trifle recipe, where she put like beef in the trifle.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That must be disgusting.
I
but
was
that's
gonna
so
buy
funny.
it, but I didn't buy it.
That's funny. Uh-oh. Any other Thanksgiving things that people watch? There's not a whole lot of Thanksgiving
No,
specials.
I
I
was-
wish there were more.
Me too. I was trying to look for some TNL thing. I was looking for Thanksgiving movies. Could not find
So
a
our
single one other than Charlie Brown.
Like our personal Thanksgiving movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
Because like that's so
Yeah.
intertwined with the holiday. Because it's like directly about
Yeah.
that.
I quickly before we move on, every single year on Thanksgiving, I have to watch an SNL sketch. That
Oh.
do you know what I'm about to say?
I might.
It is with Kristen Wiig, and I think it's like the Thanksgiving song, and she tells the story
Oh,
of
yeah.
Thanksgiving in a song.
I love Kristen
But
Wiig.
it's like it's not true, but it's so funny. I have to watch it every year because it's like the only Thanksgiving song I know.
Well, I was just thinking the Adam Sandler.
Oh, that one
Thanksgiving
too.
Song
That one too.
from
I have
It's
to
like
watch
the
that
Hanukkah
after.
song.
Yeah.
I have to watch that too. And Hanukkah song, of course,
Oh,
is Adam Sandler classic.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
single year during the holidays, you have to have it on. I downloaded it off the internet and put it on my Apple Music playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I love that SNL does is that they release all their like holiday sketches for each holiday. So like
Yeah.
they do the Thanksgiving
I
special
love that
before
too.
Thanksgiving, and then they do like the Christmas one. But that's a good point. Now I got to watch the Thanksgiving sketches
Yeah.
before.
Oh, they're
so
great.
good.
One of the more
They're
underrated
so
ones
good.
is like a Thanksgiving dinner, but the argument is just to like what the best Weezer album is. And it's like
remember that.
10 minutes straight. And it's so like violent.
That's
it's
so
awesome.
funny. That's
it's like
so
Matt
good.
Damon.
That's so good.
That's funny.
All right. Well, I'm so glad we have been watching some great stuff. Now we're going to talk about Glicked.
Ooh.
Yeah, the term Glicked has emerged in pop culture to describe the simultaneous, I said that word weird, release of two highly anticipated films, Wicked and Gladiator 2. This weekend, the release draws parallels to Barbenheimer from 2023, where Barbie and Oppenheimer were released on the same day, leading to significant box office success for both. The coverage of these two contrasting films, a vibrant musical adaptation and a historical epic, has sparked discussion about potential impacts on audience engagement, box office performance, and the broader cinematic landscape. So, everyone, how do we feel about Glicked?
Man, I'm excited for Wicked.
Me too.
I've heard
Me too.
so many people
Dude.
talking about it and really good reviews from what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things. I'm seeing it Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited. That's like the only thing I have going on Wednesday, which is very rare, especially for a Wednesday.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving week, so
Yeah.
it's basically Friday.
No, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great film. I've heard really good things. I saw on Instagram that Wicked has like an A+ review on some
Cinema score?
CinemaScore.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 has
Wow.
a B.
Oh, wow. So Wicked's
Tea.
beating it out. I was really shocked because when they announced Wicked a few years ago, I was like, no way this is going to be good. It's going to be like, like Cats or something.
Yeah.
Because originally Cats took the
Starring Taylor
premiere
Swift.
date for Wicked. So they were
Really?
prioritizing Cats over Wicked at first. And I'm like, oh boy, that doesn't
crazy.
sound too good.
That's crazy.
But yeah. But now it's here and it's really, really something special, it seems.
Do you remember if In the Heights was before or after Cats?
I think it was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, maybe In the Heights was like the benchmark, but
Maybe.
I think it is. I think In the Heights is great. I've heard this is really good, so my brain is telling me it's going to be better than In the Heights.
Yeah.
This is a 2-part movie.
That's the one thing I didn't like, is it's 2.5 hours.
Yes.
The first one.
So, and then it's going to be like the same amount the second one. So it's going to be
5
Yeah,
hours.
that's
of
crazy.
Wicked.
5 hours.
Well, like as someone who's seen it, which by the way, I'm so Wicked pilled now. It like it warrants that, and like it builds up to a climax where like you want more.
Huh.
Like,
I'm sure.
I'm craving a sequel.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
you said you saw it, right?
Yeah, last night.
Because it ends on Defying Gravity.
Yeah,
Which is like the end of Act 1. Right?
And then
Or
and then
I
it
believe
just cuts
so.
off, and then like it
You'll
says
have
like
Act 2.
to be continued.
Which, in my head, it's just interesting because it's a 2-hour musical, like the Broadway show, and second acts tend to be shorter than the first act.
Yeah.
Well, here, I heard something about this. They're actually adding more to the second movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
From what the director said.
Which should
and
be
it's going to have
interesting.
new songs and some new scenes and some
It's
new
based
things
off the
happening.
book,
So
I don't want new
apparently.
songs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's like
it could be good.
there's
I know.
new characters. They introduce like a lot that hasn't been like they introduced like a Prince character. And was the sister in the Broadway play?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the sister is supposed to be the one that gets crushed by a house.
Oh, so
I
sad.
did not know that. All right.
Was it the East?
Yeah,
in
something
in
like that.
Wizard of Oz?
I actually watched the Wizard of Oz a couple days ago to prepare for Wicked, so
I might do that. I kind of want to.
definitely
I
recommend
was
doing
I
that.
was talking about it yesterday, and I kind of want to watch it again.
Wait, I have a little side note while we're talking about The Wizard of Oz. So I was in the city the other day, and they are auctioning off one of the 4 pairs of the ruby slippers, and it was, just happened to be by where I work. And so right as soon as I get off my shift, I run over there, go inside. They like take my ID, and it's like this whole security thing. And they're like, "All right, you may proceed to see the ruby slippers." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I go in, and the lady's like, "Oh, we were just about to take them out. You came here just in time." And so she takes them out of the case to put them away and shows them to me, and like gives me like a full 360 of them. And
Wow.
it was just the coolest
That's so
moment,
cool.
like one of the best moments of my life. It was
That's
so cool.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Fawaz would have loved that. He's
Fawaz would have loved
I
that.
know. But yeah, it's really cool to see like how they're kind of paying homage to the
Yeah.
original Wizard of Oz
Yeah.
in this new movie.
I've
And-
gotten some spoilers,
Mhm.
and there's a lot that does pay homage to the original Wizard of Oz, as well as the Broadway show, the original Broadway. I mean, it's the same show still. It's been on since.
It's the longest running show now,
Yeah,
right? Or
one of them.
the longest
Lion
running.
King's been on longer.
Chicago, I
Chicago's
think.
also
Yes.
been on forever. But Wizard of Oz is a couple. No, Wizard of Oz. Wicked is a couple months older than me,
Yeah.
which is
And-
crazy. It's been on Broadway, I believe, since June 2003. I was born in August.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Wow.
But
I was 1.
there are homages that pay. Yeah, there are homages to the original film Wizard of Oz, but also the original Broadway production and cast from 2003. Not going to spoil it. I haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
just of what I've seen on Instagram and been told by people who have seen it.
Well, you know what else is really crazy is the production value of it. I've heard
Yeah.
most of the sets are practical,
I love that.
which is insane. They have a tulip field with like 9 million tulips that they planted or something like that. And it's
Wow.
just, it looks really good. And Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande both sang live on set.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which
So-
I also love. I love that. It just sounds better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like
I agree.
they're gonna.
It feels
they're-
real.
They're gonna like ADR it and like record it in like a professional booth, but like, I don't know. Like, there's something about doing it live, and they used to do it live all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like before, in like the 40s.
Yeah.
Like, and those musicals are so good.
Yeah. It's just, it seems incredible. And I've seen some clips of the behind the scenes of like,
Yeah.
she's in the air flying as she's singing. I'm like, how do you do that? Like
No,
that's
she's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Before we move on, Gladiator 2.
I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Because this is a Glicked segment. We got very into Wicked. I think we're all more excited about Wicked.
I think
which
all
is
of
fine.
the general public is too.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
marketing's, like,
Movie
even-
musicals have always been great, and it's America, so we have the great American.
Well, it's
musical
also like
culture.
it's such a
Yeah.
big win for Broadway because this
Oh,
is
yeah.
a huge blockbuster. We haven't had a blockbuster musical since like
Nice.
Mamma Mia or
yeah, kind of.
yeah, really,
Mamma
it's
Mia
been
2 was like
been a
the last
long
big one.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cats dropped on his head and died.
Cats is just also not a good show.
No, of course
No
not.
disrespect
It's
to Andrew
terrible.
Lloyd Webber, but that is just not a good show.
Well, have you guys seen the slate for Broadway releases? It's like
No.
like Hades Town. We got a Shucked musical coming up, like a Shucked movie musical.
They're doing a
coming up.
Shucked movie. That musical
Yeah,
like
no,
just
I know.
came out.
I love Shucked, and I'm so excited.
That's funny.
No, you know what? Musical movies are such hit or miss. I'm glad this one's doing well because we also had Mean Girls a year ago.
Oh,
That one-
I
that
forgot
one-
about that.
And
one. Yeah.
I
that
remember you
didn't
talking
do
about it.
great. I personally didn't love it, but
I
it
didn't
was
like it either.
fine. It was
Renee
fine.
Renee Rapp was good though.
That I agree with. But yeah, Gladiator 2, I didn't want it.
Well, I think it's funny because they're comparing it to Barbenheimer, but this is not a Barbenheimer
No.
weekend by any
This is
means.
not because they both were two of the best movies of the decade.
Yeah,
I would say we're only halfway through the decade,
they're pretty big ones. Yeah.
and like Gladiator 2's, it's not bombing, but it's not doing as well as Wicked.
Well, it's funny because they mentioned that because that was a magical one of a kind moment with Barbenheimer. But
Yeah.
then studios realized that like, okay, we should do dual releases because it'll bring people over. So like they did Saw Patrol, they did Gar Furiosa, and none of these worked.
No, none of them. It's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's just forced.
It does feel
It
forced.
is.
And also, what is a Gladiator 2? Like, I feel like the first movie kind of was a standalone thing.
It
So I
should
really don't know
be.
what the sequel is going to be.
It should be. There's a lot of movies that are just like cohesive story and it ends and then we keep on going. My brain thinks of like, and I like these movies that I'm about to say. Well, 2 out of 3 of them.
Mhm.
I think about like the Star Wars sequels because like it ended so nicely with Return of the Jedi. You know, that's like such a great ending in my head. And I like the stuff that Disney has made other than Rise of Skywalker. But like, I don't know. It's just my brain doesn't know how to feel about this current thing. We'll get into my grievances with Disney later on in the show.
Oh, thank God.
Always love a good
Yeah.
Disney talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm excited to see these films, especially Wicked. I'll get there this weekend maybe. But we're now going to hand it over to our very own Abby Gibson to catch us up on some of the latest stories in the entertainment world with our first news break. So Abby, take it away.
Welcome to Entertainment News Break. I'm Abby Gibson, and here are this week's top stories. Full House star David Coulier announced he was diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. It's a type of blood cancer, and he is currently undergoing chemotherapy and is set to finish the treatment by February 2025. Jason Kelce is set to host his own late night show on ESPN called Late Night with Jason Kelce. It will be taped live in front of a studio audience in Philadelphia in early January. Actor Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend dropped the assault and defamation lawsuit. Majors is set to complete a 52-week in-person program in Los Angeles, continuing mental health counseling and staying away from ex Grace Jabari. And that's all for this news break. Stay tuned for more entertainment news later in the show.
That's so sad about Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
Just had to say it.
I know,
I'm
he
like
was a-
heartbroken.
He was Uncle Joey, right?
Yeah.
Aw.
Technically not
I
an
feel
uncle,
like-
but yes.
Yeah, I work at the Today Show, and he made his announcement on the show when I was there, and I saw him go past me in the studio. I was like, oh, I love you.
He was America's Uncle Michael.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I'm not ready for another one to pass.
I know, it's sad when Bob Saget passed away.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember that vividly.
It's
and-
crazy that, like, the shows we grew up with, they're getting older, like the cast and stuff, so. It's really wild.
That pops into my head, and I hate thinking about it. Just like
Yeah.
the celebrities that are like a good amount older than me.
Mhm.
You know, I'm pretty young compared to other people in the world. Most of them.
I'd say
I'm
yeah.
21, so you know that's almost 3/4 of the world. If you lived to 100. I'm rambling now. It's a Sunday, everyone.
morning.
I don't know. It's just weird to think about, like, I'm going to be, like, 60 and hear that, like, you know, this person passed away that, like, I watched on, like, TV.
Yeah.
You know, like, some of it's so surreal, like Bob Saget, and we had Matthew Perry a year ago.
Liam
and
Payne, that hit
Liam
hard.
Payne. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I
Some
think...
sad ones.
Yeah, oh my God. Thank you, Abby, for the news break. Let's move on to our main discussion for today, AI.
So much more happy.
So much more happy, I know, right? The rapid evolution of artificial intelligence is reshaping the creative landscape, making its mark on the film and television industry in ways that were once unimaginable. From AI-generated scripts and digital doubles to fully automated ad campaigns like Coca-Cola's recent AI-generated advertisements. The technology is challenging traditional production methods and redefining creative boundaries. While these advancements promise unprecedented efficiency and innovation, they also raise questions about authenticity, intellectual property, and the role of human creativity in storytelling. So with that, how do we feel about AI's prevalence in the industry as of late? Abby, I know you're very interested in this. You came to me with this topic that you wanted to talk about. So do you want to lead the discussion?
I can like start talking about it.
Sure.
What's your
But
hot take?
I think it's like a really dangerous thing that's just been introduced and nobody really knows how to like regulate it or deal with it. And so, you know, AI is running rampant in all of our jobs. I mean, I'm a journalism major, but I mean, even looking at the film industry, I mean, they have AI cameramen now. So people operating cameras are going to start losing jobs if they're looking at these AIs and are like, oh, well, like, it's a cut on our budget, so might as well.
Well, like that philosophy is probably going to carry over to more like important things. So the entire scripts are going to be written in AI soon. I know because they started small with like, I don't know if you guys remember that movie Late Night with the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was the first big example of like AI being used kind of like, to me at least, in a major movie. Because they had those title cards that would pop up that were completely made by AI.
Yeah.
But now like I'm afraid that in like a few years there's going to be entire like movies written in AI and we're not going to know.
Yeah.
I mean, at least right now in my head, because I've experimented with some of this just to see, and like it's not great. And we've had discussions about this in my showrunners class.
It could get better, like always.
It can get better, and it has gotten better since like my sophomore year when it was starting to kind of be more prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not great, like the way it writes,
Yeah.
And for me, as somebody who does a lot of writing, I prefer my own writing because as much as you can put into a computer, it's not going to know what you mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Where I know what I'm talking about. I know the emotion I want to put into a character or a script. Yeah, and also like just playing around with like write a joke in this person's style. It doesn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Like,
but it does like an okay enough job, like a
No.
passable job, and that's the,
it
that's
really
the key.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
And you also have to think like there's going to be different AI models.
Yes,
out
and there
there
are
that,
different AI. Even
you know.
ChatGPT has multiple different AI models, and you can go to like DALL-E has like different.
Oh, those are scary. Yeah.
Those are scary,
Yeah.
and those are pretty good. But like a graphic designer still does a much better job.
Yeah, I was talking to a TV executive a few weeks ago, and we asked him about AI and what his thoughts are, moving forward. And he's like, you could have AI do things, and it could be a good tool, but it will never replace people, was his thoughts, because people have like a certain touch that just can't be replicated by computers. And
I
so
absolutely
he's
agree.
not scared of it. So I was thinking, maybe it's not going to be as bad as
Yeah.
they're hyping it up to be. But again, who knows what it's going to take for him.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of the writer's strike,
Mhm.
and think maybe the Screen Actors Guild, I can't remember,
Yeah.
that they wanted restrictions on AI because it was becoming very prevalent and they don't want their jobs taken away, which is very fair. So I don't know if it's going to be as dangerous because of that, because people are going to be like, hey, I want to keep my job, which is fair. But also, I kind of agree that it's a good tool. It's not the be-all, end-all of replacing work, but it's a great tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, like, even in my PR class, for our assignments, we'll have it, like, our version, and then she'll make us do an AI version. So we'll put the prompt into, like, an AI, and whatever pops out, that's also part of our grade. Because we have to, like, dissect it and be like, this is the problem, this is what it did good.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it is nice sometimes with, like, research stuff I've found.
Absolutely.
To, like, just quickly, like, it kind of combs through all the websites for you. And so that's kind of been nice. But, again, there's a lot of instances where
it's wrong.
It's wrong and unreliable. So it's almost like you're doing more work to verify whether it's correct or not.
Well, I mean, for me, I kind of do both. I used it a couple times in the past week to just be like, hey, find me articles on this thing. And it'll give me a bunch of links, and I'll go through them, and I'll kind of be like, yeah, this is what I meant. No, I don't really want this. This is, like, I can't really access this because it's New York Times, and I don't want to pay for a subscription.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah.
Well,
I think there are good uses for it, but there's also a lot of evil.
Yeah.
But that's with everything.
You know what I'm very upset about is the Coca-Cola commercial that just came out.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's
god.
talk about that.
That was AI.
And it was completely AI generated. And I'm upset because every year I look forward to the Coca-Cola commercial for the holidays. And this one just looked weird.
Well, like
It was so
they're not
strange.
fooling anybody because like most people know what the AI like style is.
Yeah.
And because it has those kind of like uncanny valley movements.
Yeah.
And it was obviously fake. Like it looked so AI, and I don't know what they were thinking with like releasing that to the public.
Yeah, especially a company that big where like you're not strapped for cash
Yeah,
really
Oh, no,
like,
no,
on
no.
advertising.
Like when the band Tears for Fears does it, because they made an entire album cover off AI. Like they're a 30-year-old band. They could do that. Like we're gonna get annoyed, but no one's gonna like care. But Coca-Cola,
That's really fun,
Yeah.
actually.
I know, especially the holiday commercial. Like you're
Yeah.
testing that
Yeah,
out
no, I know.
now when people are watching you the most. I feel like that was a bad move.
It's stupid. And they have so many, like, in my head, iconic characters, like
Mhm.
the polar bear and
Yeah.
bring back Ronald.
everybody cover your children's ears if there are children watching.
Oh boy.
They created Santa, Coca-Cola. So like,
Wait, Santa's not real?
Tommy,
Whoa.
how old are you?
Santa's very real. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
But you know, they did a similar thing. Toys R Us. This
Yeah.
past summer they did an AI generated.
I'm surprised Toys R Us is
commercial.
still in business. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
The
that's-
one
that's a
that
whole other-
closed.
Kind of
Yeah, I
in
thought it went
business.
completely bankrupt. I'm gonna be honest.
I think they're going out of like a Macy's or something.
Yeah, they do a lot of like
Okay.
pop-up stores. Rather
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of been relegated to that like Walmart Subway position where you
Yeah.
go in there and like happen to pass by that other store.
It's the same way with like the Disney store. They shut down all the Disney stores, which they did
Yeah.
not need to do, and I'm
Wait, the one at
still
Times
upset
Square?
about this.
Not that one.
Not that one.
Okay, good.
Like the one.
Every other one.
Roosevelt
Like
Field
yeah,
Mall,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Like when I was growing up, there was a Disney store at Broadway Mall, and there was a store at the other mall. And they closed those, and that's upsetting to me because that was my childhood.
Yeah.
But they're all like relegated to Targets.
Okay.
Because
it's good because
they
I like
have,
when
like,
Disney
some kind of deal.
fails.
Yeah. We're a business show
Oh,
now.
we're
We
gonna-
talk about business.
Oh yeah, we're a business show, guys.
Finance.
But yeah, it you know, the advancements they're making in AI video is kind of getting interesting.
It is
because
interesting.
I mean, literally just 2 or 3 years ago, they were showing concepts of it, and they just look so terrible. It's like, oh, this is never going to
The
become
one
a
that
thing.
pops in my mind is the one of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
That's exactly what I was
Which
thinking.
I
yeah.
love that one, but like it looks so odd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
some of them are so realistic. Like I remember when the elections were happening, like they made a fake AI video of Taylor Swift. Like it was
Mhm.
insane.
That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, the videos are getting scarily
Scarily, yeah.
similar to real life.
Yeah.
And that is kind of worrying because, like, again, they could use it for ads.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Things that are small, but, like, you know, those are jobs, too, that people are getting taken out of.
Well, the technology is getting so much better, and my like biggest fear, kind of ever, is like one day we're not going to recognize when stuff is made by AI, so we're not going to like have the ability to say no when when it is.
Well,
So
that's
we're not
like-
gonna put our foot down.
That's like a big thing in like journalism, and Abby could probably
Yeah.
attest to that. Like, what says I can't like make an AI video of like Biden doing something or Trump doing something that's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
you
it's
can
fake.
completely defame a person's
Yeah.
image with like
Yeah.
one AI
Like-
video.
I mean, it's happened before. Some things have come out with
Absolutely.
politicians that
Yeah.
with videos that aren't real. And
Like,
people are fooled
dude,
by
there's
it.
a video
It's a
But,
big
yeah.
it's
There's-
a big thing in media ethics, but of course, people who are doing this have no ethics.
Mhm.
So like, what's stopping them?
That was a good one.
Well, it
Yeah.
was also talked about in like my media and law class because we were
Hmm.
talking about if there are any regulations on AI, and I think there's very few, if at all. And
yeah,
so,
it's,
like,
Yeah.
it's not.
there's no rules for what you can do with AI, and so it's just running rampant right now until the government's like, oh wait, like this is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and a weird thing I heard too was that AI generated things are not copyright protected, which is I don't know if the legal standing on that has changed.
It
since
should.
things have advanced more, but
Actually,
when you think about it, AI is just taking little pieces of everything. So like,
Yeah.
who is to say who owns the content that is generated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
heard
just
like a
crazy.
lot of jokes about Pepsi gonna like redo the commercial, but just put their logo over it.
That's
That'd be
really
funny.
That's really
That would
funny.
be a good move for them. A few weeks ago, Robert Downey Jr. Was in an interview, and he was talking about how his likeness can be used, and he was firmly against AI and was saying that even after he's dead, he will be prosecuting anyone who uses his likeness
Like his
with
estate.
AI-generated content. And so, it's good to see that big names like that are taking a stand against it, and I think it might, scare companies and
Yeah.
anyone looking to use AI generated content. They'll be taking a second look at it. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it develops, and I'm sure we'll be covering it on the show in the future. But
Oh, yeah.
I think we're gonna hand it back over now to Abby to catch us up with some more news in another news break. So Abby, take it away.
The CMA Awards took place last Wednesday. Morgan Wallen took home the Entertainer of the Year award, while George Strait was given the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award. The New Artist of the Year award was given to Megan Moroney. Coachella announced its lineup for 2025 with Lady Gaga, Green Day, and Post Malone headlining the festival. Some other notable names are Charlie XCX, Travis Scott, and Megan Thee Stallion. Billie Eilish was named Apple Music's Artist of the Year. She becomes the first artist to win the award twice, the first time being in 2019. And that's all for this entertainment news break. Now let's get back to the movies.
The CMAs were very good this past week. I was
Yeah.
watching them. Chris Stapleton deserved all
He's
of those
so
awards.
good, yeah.
It was very cool.
I love his voice.
I know, right? It's so unique. Like no one else has that kind of voice.
Yeah.
And he had a little collab with Post Malone, I think, at the start. So that was a
Yeah.
cool thing to see. But Michael, why don't we head over into some Hollywood news here?
I love that idea. I'm really loud. All right. Well, thank you, Abby, for that. Let's kick off Hollywood news. Like Brandon said, we're going to start talking about some Jeopardy. That's right. We have a pop culture Jeopardy that is upcoming spinoff of the classic quiz show.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's set to premiere on December 4th, 2024, exclusively on Prime Video. This series is going to be hosted by SNL star Colin Jost, which I'm very excited for. This show is going to introduce a team-based format with 81 teams of three.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. This is real. It's going to have 3 contestants each competing in a tournament-style event for a grand prize of $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Categories are going to encompass a wide range of pop culture topics, including alt-rock, The Avengers, Broadway, MMA, Gen Z, and Zendaya, to name a few. A unique feature of this spinoff is going to be the triple play, which is a hidden element of the game board that adds an extra layer of excitement to the competition. So, what are our thoughts on this new take on Jeopardy?
This
think it's
sounds wild.
Hilarious that they took like the freebie category of Jeopardy and made it its own show Because this is like the category that people just chose when they didn't want to choose the hard ones.
We can all
Yeah.
go on it, technically.
Yeah,
Zendaya
I would
being
do
her own
so good.
category is killing me.
That's iconic.
I
Hey,
think it's so fun.
that's what the article said that I read.
Yeah.
But like,
This is real.
deserved.
Yeah.
It's funny
Fair.
because people, like, anyone who's watched Jeopardy is like, can they ask questions that we know how to answer? And I feel like this show is going to be that. Like, it'll
Yeah.
be, a bunch of questions.
I'm
well,
sorry,
actually, answers.
I'm sorry,
that
Michael. Did you
will,
say what is Gen Z? Like that's a topic.
Gen Z is going to be a topic,
Really?
which to me is weird.
I think I say
Skibbity toilet.
skibbity
Like,
on
that's probably going to be
TV.
one of the...
Yeah, like just brain rot. But
Yeah, this is wild.
our
I mean,
generation.
the prompts are going to be interesting to see. And
Yeah.
81 teams?
Crazy.
This is a big show.
I-
They're not going small with this.
I had to double check. I checked like 3 articles to make sure that was real,
Wow.
and it is
Do we know how big the teams are?
3.
Oh, okay. Oh,
3 people each.
wow.
Yeah,
So-
the winners, I guess. Get.
But they're also, and I didn't mention this in my reading,
Mhm.
they're premiering 3 episodes a week.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
was
this is.
wondering.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be a really long show.
it is a long show, but they're doing, I think, oh God, I forgot how many episodes it was, but yeah, they're doing 3 episodes a week. I imagine it's going to be like a Survivor type thing, like a team out at like every show, or I don't know, but
Yeah. It's probably like a fight to the death, once you're
I
out, you're out.
imagine.
But
But it's different than normal Jeopardy because Jeopardy is usually self-contained episodes.
Right.
And
yeah, I
this-
was going to say, this seems like a huge departure from the original Jeopardy show.
But it's kind of fun, and you get to
I
follow
mean,
an
yeah,
arc.
it seems cool.
You get to do the thing where like my girlfriend's family takes bets on Survivor people. So you could do that with that. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. I would so
Yeah.
get into that because this is a show like right up my alley.
I wonder
Yeah.
if Colin then will, like, since he's hosting, if he's going to return to SNL next year. I don't know.
He could.
Probably.
Yeah.
It'll probably
Um,
be during the off
I mean-
season
That's
that
true,
they
yeah.
Off topic.
tape this.
I think he gets a late night gig when somebody retires and moves on.
That's a good point, yeah.
I
Yeah.
He
like
might.
I like
Yeah,
him a
no, he's
lot.
good.
Seth Meyers.
Weekend
he's a
Update
contender.
hosts tend to
Well, it's funny, the current late night hosts on NBC were former SNL.
both
Yeah.
both of them
Yeah.
were former Weekend Update anchors. I think
Yeah.
that trend continues because I really like Colin Jost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
saw them actually. So I saw Seth Meyers taping a couple weeks ago in the city,
Mm.
and then I saw Jimmy Fallon one. So they were both hilarious. So I think
Yeah.
Colin Jost could fit that role.
That could be interesting.
Absolutely.
And it's cool to see
Yeah.
him getting his own little
Yeah.
game show now. That's fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, it's funny,
And-
like the breeding ground SNL has become for like upcoming entertainment people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
always
they
been
have
that,
like the
though.
2 late night hosts. You have the late night Jimmys. They got what's his name? Seth Meyers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Conan O'Brien started on SNL.
He did?
Not as an actor. He was a writer.
Yeah.
He was a writer
You know
for.
Robert Downey Jr. was on SNL for a while.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
just heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw a
It's
ranking.
crazy.
He was ranked the worst
Yes.
of all
Oh,
SNL
he's-
cast
He was not.
members.
Yeah,
He
no.
was not good on the show. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was also on SNL for a season.
Mm.
Wow.
Martin Short was on SNL for a season.
Well, 'cause, like upcoming
Steve Martin.
comedians all audition
Steve
for
Martin.
SNL.
Actually, Steve Martin was never a cast member. He was always a host.
That's
He's
true.
hosted the
Yeah.
most other than Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. I love Steve Martin.
I love Steve Martin too.
He's hilarious. But yeah, this seems like it's gonna be a fun show. It's exciting to actually have a game show where you could answer the questions and feel like, oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
No, yeah, let me on there. I'd be the James Holtzhauser of that show.
I-
Great.
Oh, I remember James.
I
yeah.
was doing that the other day during we have a show on Heat Network called Director's Cut,
Mm-hmm.
and no, it wasn't Director's Cut. It was Spin the Wheel. No, it was Director's Cut. We did like 8 shows this week. During Director's Cut, they had like a little game they were doing with one of the guests, similar to what we do here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were like, "What is this movie quote from?" And I was sitting in the control room, and I answered like almost everyone.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I can do this. This is."
Well, it seems like this game show is gonna have it. I mean, you said they have Avengers questions.
Yeah, like nerdy,
Yeah.
geeky, pop culture stuff right up my alley. That's like my whole MO is pop culture.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So
And it's also interesting that Amazon Prime is picking this up because they seem to be doing a lot of game shows now with Mr. Beast and
Yeah.
I
couple
heard
different-
that has issue. I don't know. I've heard
Yeah, I
so
heard
many
that was a
things
little
about
controversial
that,
too,
yeah.
Well, yeah, because like
we've
Mr.
talked about that, or at least we were going to talk about that in the past with
Yeah.
Mr. Beast being.
They
a
picked
little
up that show
controversial.
right as like a lot of allegations came out about him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
But
Maybe this is their way to make up for it. They're like, oh, we need something that works.
every streaming service seems to be copying each other in different aspects. Hulu just released something about doing Hilarious, something like that, where they're like basically taking Netflix's stand-up comedy like stream line, which they took from HBO.
Yeah.
And just doing like stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I know they got a Jim Gaffigan special. I love Jim Gaffigan.
Everybody
Jim
is
Gaffigan's
copying
great.
everybody. I don't know if you remember the Netflix Menendez brother show.
Yeah.
There's two of them.
Not even a week after the HBO made a documentary about those guys. Not even a week.
And there's a documentary on Netflix too.
Oh really?
Yeah, they did a documentary and the show, like real horror.
Remember the Fire Festival thing? That was like
No.
Netflix released a documentary, and then like 3 other streaming services made kind of the same documentary.
That's funny.
Crazy.
I feel like Disney Plus is the only one that kind of stays to itself and doesn't,
Yeah. I
copy
would agree.
people with that much.
I would agree.
Paramount.
But Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're kind of
So it actually is Disney.
Yeah, and I
In disguise.
I mean, I have both, so I kind of my Hulu shows up on my Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, right.
So.
Right.
Well, yeah, like I remember I clicked on it. I was like, why am I seeing anime and Seinfeld on here?
I know it's weird seeing like American Horror Story next to like Moana. Because it's like this is for kids and then this is for like adults.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I see a lot of adult shows now on Disney Plus. It's crazy.
What a tangent we just went on.
I know, right?
That was quite a journey. We
that's
went
the
from
spirit of the
Jeopardy
show.
to, and that's the screening room.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the
But,
screening without it.
It's true. But we're going to move on to some controversial news for Muppet fans out there. Disney has announced significant changes coming to Muppet attractions at their Hollywood Studios theme park in Orlando, Florida. The much beloved Muppet Vision 3D show at the park is set to close to make way for a new Monsters Inc. themed area featuring a family-friendly roller coaster. But the Muppets aren't going away entirely, though, as the Rockin' Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith will be rethemed to feature Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and other iconic Muppet characters singing along to rock music with celebrity musicians, which is kind of interesting. So how do we feel about these changes coming with the Muppets, guys?
I hate it. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about earlier about I'm
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm gonna go on a tangent about Disney right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go on a tangent about Disney.
Oh boy.
Thank God.
I hate this. This is so look, I went on a tangent like this a couple years ago when Disney closed the Great Movie Ride. The Great Movie Ride was my thing. I loved it. I know it had to go. I know it was old. I loved it. As a little kid who loved movies, that was my thing. Loved that ride.
That's a good one.
I have a shirt that's from the last
Dude, the alien
thing.
ride,
I
the alien
filmed the
section
last
that
time.
scarred me when I was a kid.
Oh, that was
Well,
so
that's not
scary.
there
That's
anymore,
really
and that's
scary.
That was
good because that and Stitch's Great Escape were terrifying.
I know.
Same ride, rethemed, whatever. For me, I don't want Muppet Vision to go away. It's a great ride. It doesn't get that many people, and like from a business standpoint, yeah, Incredibles. Monsters Inc. is gonna get a lot more people. In theory, I've seen the roller coaster. I don't know how family friendly that roller coaster is.
I don't know. They said
I've
the height
seen-
requirement's gonna be pretty short, so I'm like, all right.
I mean, it's like a suspended.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
It's
seen the
first
concept art.
suspended
It's-
coaster at Disney, which looks really cool.
I don't know how family friendly it's gonna be. I feel like that might be a ride I go on once. But yeah,
Not your thing.
yeah, I am really disappointed. I don't want. I'm okay with Rock and Roller Coaster. I thought I was going to get rethemed anyway because their deal with Aerosmith is up. It's going to be specifically the Electric Mayhem, which is the band from Muppets, and it's going to, like you said, include the Muppet characters and other musicians. That's fine. I think it's weird for a Muppet ride to be in Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster is an intense. It's like the fastest ride on.
No, it's like 0 to 60. I think.
It's
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
crazy. It is not for little kids. Muppets is more of a little kid thing.
I remember when I was little, I was at Disney World, and it was me and my mom. And the person, I don't know if it was because I was such a little kid, but they kept letting me and my mom go on and on. And it was
Yeah.
like the third time, and I was like, Mom, I can't do it anymore. I don't
Aw.
want to do it anymore.
It's a ride that I kind of refuse to do, and I've had anxiety attacks like going on that ride before. When I was a kid, this is a fun story. I was like 7, and I went on with my uncle and my aunt, and they tricked me onto the ride, telling me and I still don't do this. I don't do loops. I don't do like certain like roller coaster things because it's just not a thing that I'm comfortable doing. And they said like, no, it just goes fast. It's like Space Mountain. No. For anybody who's ever ridden that ride, there's a lot of loops. There's a lot of like upside
would not like
downs, and
that.
I can't do the Ring of
it's
Fire.
wild.
hate
I
the Ring
can't
of
either.
Fire.
It's
Yeah.
anyway, so that's
like
really funny.
Macaw, which
I
is
love-
closing.
They did that to my aunt's sister.
I absolutely love Rock and Roller Coaster, and what makes it so much fun is the music. And so I was thinking the Muppets might be a good choice for it, and it turns out they're doing it. And so getting to go on that ride with the Muppets singing
It
to
could
you
be fun.
is going to be
Little-
really cool.
little
I
side
think.
tangent.
I think it's gonna be cool. I just would have done something different.
Yeah.
They're just
Um,
following the plot of the movie.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Have you guys seen the original Muppet movie
No.
from the
Yeah,
70s?
Original? Yeah.
Yeah, great movie. I love it. My senior quote from high school is from that movie. Fun
Wow.
fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very upset about Muppet Vision 3D going away because this is one of my favorite attractions. My
Yeah.
family can attest that I make them go on it at least twice while we're there. And
It's one of my mom's favorites too.
yeah, it's just so funny, and it's actually the last project that Jim Henson worked on for the Muppets, and so it's interesting to see them taking it away. But in the press release, they were ominously saying that they're looking for creative ways to continue the legacy of Muppet Vision. And also, the Jim Henson Company released a statement saying that they look forward to the next act of Muppet Vision 3D. So I'm kind of feeling like they're going to do something with this, whether it's moving it somewhere else or maybe putting it on Disney Plus or something. So, I don't know if it's going away entirely, but I'm excited to see, and hopefully they do something with it in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna like raise $1 million to save it.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's the plot of the Muppets all over again. But it's exciting. I mean, I love the Muppets. I feel like over the past few years they haven't been used as much as you would hope.
I would agree
But-
with that.
But the Muppet-
Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Actually, fun fact: my sorority's mascot was Kermit the Frog.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
No, Five Below has this shirt that has Kermit on it with a banjo, and it says "Country Roots," and I need the shirt so bad, like, and it's sold out, and I'm like,
trip after this.
yes,
Devastating.
actually.
Yeah, I love the Muppets. I want them to come out with another movie.
Me too.
I think that's what they really need is
Yeah.
another solid, good movie. The last one was
We need
okay.
to make it a trilogy.
Yeah, sure. Make a Muppet trilogy. Well, you know what? It's owned by Disney. Why don't they make spin-offs of like their classic Disney movies played by the Muppets?
Well, they kind
That's
of did
why-
that
Well, they
with
did
Haunted
they
Mansion.
did Christmas Carol recently. Oh no,
No,
Haunted
they didn't.
Mansion
Haunted
recently.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion,
Which was
yeah.
kind
I
of
would
awesome.
love Christmas Carol, honestly. I mean,
yeah, that's my go-to
actually,
Christmas Carol.
let's go back because they did do Christmas Carol. Muppets Christmas Carol is a great movie.
It's my go-to Christmas Carol because, like, Michael Caine plays it so straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's so funny.
You would not even know
He's
he's
such
playing
a
with
serious
Muppets.
actor.
Yeah. He's a thespian.
I keep on seeing on TikTok, like, if you had to do one movie where it's just everybody except for one cast member is replaced by the Muppets, what would it be? And people keep on saying, like, Princess Bride and, like, Star Wars. And I think Muppets Princess Bride is kind of a great idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I feel like Muppet Star Wars would be funny too.
Muppet Star Wars would be
Muppet
funny
Die
too.
Hard.
Muppet Friends.
I'd love to see like a Muppets like, Cinderella or something. Though.
Yeah,
fun.
like a
Miss
classic.
Piggy as Cinderella.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be fun.
Rizzo the Rat as the mice, and like, that would just be hilarious.
That's so funny.
Muppets 12 Angry Men. I would pay so much money.
Yeah.
That's
Wait.
my new film project.
Do you,
That's a crazy answer.
do you guys remember the Muppet Wizard of Oz? It was like a
No.
Yeah.
really obscure
Yeah.
Muppet movie, but that
Muppet
one was
Wicked, that would be
yeah,
cool.
That was good. All right, well, hopefully the Muppets return in some way, but I think we're gonna move on now to catch up on some things that are coming out in the movie and TV world with Tune In This Week. Hey, that was fun music. Here we go. All right, so Star Wars Skeleton Crew is an all-new series set within the timeline of the hugely popular series, The Mandalorian. It follows 4 children who, after making a mysterious discovery on their home planet, become lost in the galaxy far, far away. Their journey introduces them to new allies and threats as they strive to find their way back home. The series is set to feature actor Jude Law and was created by the director of the most recent Spider-Man trilogy, John Watts. The 2-episode premiere of Skeleton Crew releases December 3rd, only on Disney+. That one I'm excited for. I don't know about you guys.
I think out of everything we're going to talk about, this is the most excited I'm for. This is the thing I'm most excited for in December.
Yeah, it seems really cool, and it's very Spielberg-y and
You're
leaning
right.
into
It's
that.
absolutely a Spielberg like type thing with the kids and going on an adventure. And
people say it's like Goonies plus Star Wars.
I was just about to say that.
When are they gonna stop making Star Wars content? I don't think they'll ever.
Never, unfortunately. But also, I love it.
I'm looking forward to that one. But the next one here we got is Creature Commandos. The first project to release under the new DC universe is an upcoming adult animated series that will be a direct continuation of the events from the Peacemaker series. The plot follows a Black Ops team of monstrous characters who undertake covert missions too dangerous or controversial for traditional superheroes. The series features notable ensemble of voice actors including Frank Grillo, David Harbour, Indira Varma, Zoe Chow, Sean Gunn, Alan Tudyk, and Viola Davis. That's a great cast.
I think it's funny how David Harbour
Incredible
has taken on a Marvel and a DC role in 2024.
Yeah, it's
Viola
true.
Davis is good. She was really good as Dr. Gall in the Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, some really good actors there. And it's funny that they're all voice acting instead,
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. But the series is set to premiere December 5th only on Max. So tune in if you're interested in that. The next one is Y2K, an upcoming horror comedy film directed by SNL alum Kyle Mooney in his directorial debut. Yeah, a horror comedy. It is written by Mooney and Evan Winter and stars Jaden Martell, Julian Dennison, and Rachel Zegler, and depicts an imaginative version of the year 2000 problem. While two loser friends crash a high school party on New Year's Eve 1999, the Y2K bug causes all technology to come to life and turn against humanity. Man.
By the way, you missed one of the starring. Also starring Fred Durst.
Oh.
Of Limp Bizkit fame.
I saw Rachel in Romeo and Juliet, so I'm excited for this. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a cool cast, and
Yeah.
a horror comedy seems interesting. I don't know. That's kind of funny.
That's a fun take, though.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge horror person. I'm a big comedy person, and I kind of like blending genres like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, could be interesting. I'm excited to see it. Well, Y2K will release in theaters December 6th, so get your tickets now. And the last one we got for this week is Moana 2, Disney Animation's latest feature that follows the events of the hugely popular 2016 film Moana. The sequel follows Moana as she journeys to the far seas of Oceania after receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors. The film will see the return of Auli'i Cravalho. Yes, thank you.
I saw her in Cabaret. She's good.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool. And we'll also see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reprising his role as Maui. So this one's kind of exciting. I don't know how I feel about a Moana sequel, but it seems like it might be pretty cool.
Yeah, they aren't marketing it as well.
Right?
No,
it
I
comes
was
out.
gonna say, like, they started
Yeah.
putting trailers on like a month before it comes out.
I've talked about this a lot in the past. I forgot this movie was happening.
Me too. 'Cause of
Until like a
Wicked.
week ago.
Yeah, honestly, because of Wicked, I forgot this.
Well,
was
that
happening.
and also just like they've done nothing for it.
They announced it very late too. They only announced it last year, so it's
Which is
like
weird.
Yeah.
I think this was. They were originally going to put out a Moana series, and I think they turned it into a movie, and so this was
Which-
kind of like a last-minute, assembly of
Yeah,
things.
we've talked about this in the show before. We all know how I feel about that because they did that with Atlantis 2, and it sucked.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this movie's great.
Honestly, Universal beating Disney in its own game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, Moana 2 releases in theaters this Wednesday. And that's all for this week's Tune In This Week.
All right. Thank you very much, Brandon. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up our show this week. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Screening Room here on WRHU. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram at Screening Room WRHU to stay up to date. And be sure to tune in to our show every Sunday at 10 a.m. only here on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. But until then, just remember, there's no place like the Screening Room. I did that on purpose, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Have
guys.
a great
Happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
everyone.